Hello, dear children of class 6, and welcome to another online class of general knowledge. Now, dear children, today we are going to start the fourth lesson from our GK book, Science Cartoons. Now, dear children, before we start this, I hope that you have completed all the assignments given in the previous three lessons and you have kept your notebooks updated. Let me remind you, your notebooks will be corrected as soon as the school opens up. Now, children, coming to the lesson, let's talk about cartoons. I think you all know cartoons. When I talk cartoons, I think what's going on in your head is Shin Chan, Doraemon, Ninja Hattori, Chota Bheem, and whatnot. From small children to some of the teenagers and even elders enjoy cartoons. Now, children, cartoons are meant to subtly, discreetly provide you with moral values and knowledge. But do you know that cartoons are also meant for mass communication? Whenever a powerful social message has to be conveyed to a large number of people in a humorous way so that no one gets offended but everyone gets the message, it's the cartoons that come to use. In newspapers that most of your parents read, you must have seen there is a small corner where there is a small humorous picture given in a almost a cubicle size with a very small discreet humorous message written there, but conveying a powerful social or political message. Same way, dear children, to convey the various problems that scientists are encountering, environmentalists are encountering, geologists are encountering in keeping the earth safe and habitable for human life, they make use of cartoons to convey the various rising ecological problems to the people. People often don't like to read long essays or listen to long speeches when it comes to understanding or listening to the rising ecological problems or natural problems. But through cartoons, through cartoons, not only the humor is provided, not only it makes people feel witty and laugh, but it also puts in their subconscious or their mind the message that ecology or nature has to be conserved, it has to be saved. Now, in this particular exercise that we are going to do, there are cartoon pictures. Now, obviously, I am not a cartoonist, I cannot draw those pictures on the board, but we will write on the board and discuss each of the ecological problem or natural problem that is threatening the safety of our habitable world today. So let's go through the pictures we have once here. Okay, our very first picture is that there are three vultures. All right. Now, as you know, most of the species of vultures are endangered species. When I say endangered species, I mean they are about to get extinct if they are continuously hunted, if their habitat is destroyed indiscriminately, then very soon not only vultures but many species of birds and animals will disappear from earth in a whiff. So, to go through the cartoon, there are three vultures, and one of the vultures is saying, to protect our own race, we will go for mass demonstration in front of the parliament. Often, when people have to get certain demands to the government, which they think the government will not take seriously, people take the help of demonstrations and processions. So another vulture is saying, mass demonstration? But only three of us are left. Right? So there are three vultures, and he's saying, how can you do mass demonstration when only three vultures are left? It talks about the problem of excessive hunting. excessive hunting. Children, once upon a time, it was a hobby of the royalty to hunt animals, right? But very soon, as soon as the hunting of many species got banned in our country, hunting of wild animals got banned in our country, there came a different race of hunters. These kind of hunters, they enter the forest or reserved areas, you can say wildlife sanctuaries, national park, biosphere reserves. They enter these places illegally, lay traps, or kill or trap endangered animals and sell them or their body parts in the market. Now, this has led to serious decrease in the number of wild animals. Talking about tigers only, my dear children. Once upon a time, and I'm talking this before independence era, there were lakhs and lakhs of tigers in Sundarban forest alone. All right, you know Sundarban, Bay of Bengal, largest delta in the world, the Ganga Brahmaputra delta. It contains a very big mangrove forest known as Sundarbans, and the Royal Bengal tiger resides there. And once upon a time, these tigers were in lakhs and lakhs of number there alone. Okay, I'm not taking the whole country into consideration, but recently, according to the recent survey, only 1411 tigers remain in all of India. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, only 1411 tigers remain. So you can understand that excessive hunting or indiscriminate killing of wild animals, especially the endangered animals for their body parts, what a big trouble it has been. This can be stopped with a very simple logic. No buyers equals no sellers. What I mean to say is, if we as people stop purchasing animal parts, stop purchasing endangered animals, then automatically the poachers will have no option left but to switch business and leave these animals alone in their habitat and let it thrive. All right, now let's see the second cartoon. The second cartoon says 100 dead. Wait, there are three trees, and one of the trees is actually reading some kind of book, and it's written there 100 dead, many injured, and 10 burnt alive. Now, normally, this kind of thing comes in a newspaper, right? Whenever there is some accident with human beings. But in case of forest, it is forest fire. Forest fire. Now, dear children, forest normally catches fire due to two reasons. Number one, due to excessive heat. Excessive heat. The too much dry weather may lead to forest fire, but that fire is almost controlled. Almost controlled, and it is actually good for forest because a certain section of the forest that gets burned, the ash, it acts like a fertilizer there, and the forest can reclaim its area very quickly. But often people go to forest in the name of hiking and picnic and whatnot, and they light a fire to cook food. But when it comes time to put out the said fire, either they don't do it at all or they do it very carelessly, leaving certain embers or sparks still burning, and later on that only turns into a full scale forest fire, which becomes difficult even for experienced firefighters to control. The recent example of this was the Australian bushfire, dear children. It was all over the news. A very big area of the Australian forests got destroyed, and many species of animals, animals and trees, they got burnt out there, finished totally, just because of human carelessness. So forest fire, one of the biggest threat to the forest life, and also to the life of animals that live in the said forests. Now let's talk about cartoon number 3. Now cartoon number 3 has a background. There's a teacher standing. He has a ruler in his hand. On the board it is written, save trees, no to plastics. And the students are asking, excuse me sir, is that a plastic pointer in your hand? Right? A teacher talking about say no to plastic using a plastic ruler. This is what we call irony. This is what we call in English as irony. Also, it leads to a very good saying, practice what you preach. Simply saying say no to plastic is not going to help. If we are actually going to do anything about it, we must stop the use of plastic altogether. So which problem does it talks about? I think you all already have a clue. Forest conservation. Forest conservation. Now, dear children, the word conservation means protection, saving it. Okay, the various method by which the forest can be saved and they can be made to thrive is known as conservation, or you can say forest conservation. Now, dear children, one of the very important aspect of forest conservation, as it is stated in this particular cartoon, is saying no to polythene or plastic altogether. Remember, dear children, plastic is non-biodegradable. You can bury it into the earth even after hundreds of years. If you dig it up, you will find it almost intact. It means wherever the plastic is put in that particular space or in that particular part, the trees cannot grow. And imagine if the forest areas don't get to reclaim their lost parts just because a lot of plastic is dumped out there. Slowly the forest areas will decrease, which is already decreasing, and one day the forests will be totally gone. So to prevent that, we need to stop the use of plastic altogether. It's the need of the hour. Now, going to the fourth one. Oh, there is rust in your skin. There is a doctor and a patient, and the doctor says, oh, there is rust in your skin. Normally the skin's not supposed to catch rust. So how did this fellow caught rust? Let's see his answer. The patient replies, you prescribe daily iron tablets for me. You remember, iron catches rust. Iron catches rust. Hence the cartoon out there. This may look simple, but it talks about a very serious problem, and that very serious problem is over medication. Over medication. Now, over medication means taking a certain medicine in a larger quantity than what is prescribed by the doctor. See, whenever doctors prescribe us any medicine, they give us certain dose, and they always tell their patients to stick to the dose. But sometimes people, maybe out of curiosity, maybe out of what you call experimentation, or maybe out of addiction, people take medicines in heavy doses. Not only doing such thing is harmful for our body, but in certain cases these medicines can be very lethal. Especially, you must have heard or read on medicine packet about schedule H drugs. By drugs I mean medicines. Schedule H drugs. These kind of medicines are never sold in market without doctor's prescription. And when doctor prescribes a medicine, he always recommends a certain dosage. Now, as mature people, as educated people, we must always remember to stick to the doses and never overeat or overdrink any medicine, no matter how tasty it tastes. Now let's look at the fifth cartoon here. The fifth cartoon is a cartoon of a polar bear. Now when I say polar bear, I hope you understand polar bears are mostly found in what you call the poles. And he's saying, oh God, these cruel humans, they rendered me landless. Now, where do polar bears live? In poles. What is poles covered with? Ice. So question is, how are humans responsible for melting all the polar ice? It's not like we went there, collected all the ice, made popsicles and ice cream and had it. Correct? But still, we humans are responsible because we have created the related problem global warming. Global warming. Global warming refers to the gradual increase in the temperature of Earth's atmosphere. Pay attention to it. Gradual increase in the temperature of Earth's atmosphere due to increase in its carbon content. You see, in atmosphere, the amount of carbon is rising steadily. And from where it is rising? From all the pollution that we are creating, the vehicle exhaust, the factory smoke, the CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, the burning of plastic and all. It's creating what you call the increase in carbon content in the atmosphere, and that is leading to increase in Earth's atmosphere's temperature, which in turn leads to global warming. And all that global warming is gradually but steadily melting all the ice present on the poles. But if we think only polar bears are going to get affected by it, please pay attention to this logic. All the polar ice melts, turns to water. All that water, where it goes? Into the nearby seas and oceans. So what happens there? The oceans and sea levels start rising. And when they rise up, what will they cover? Land. Already the land mass on Earth is only 1/4. Rest 3/4 of the Earth is covered by water. Now give it a thought, if that 3/4 of water, which is already too much, its level, its quantity starts rising. Slowly all the lands will be submerged, and then either we will have to learn and adapt to the fully watery planet, or we will be like stones in it. Down, drown, dead. Now let's talk about the last problem here. It shows a very desolate area which has a board. Cutting of trees strictly prohibited by law. It means if trees are cut from this part, they will be punished by law. But the fun part is, in the background all the trees have been cut. This leads to the problem of deforestation. Deforestation refers to indiscriminate cutting down of trees. You see, most of our requirements are fulfilled from forest and forest products, but as human population is increasing and its demands for furniture, for wooden toys, for even wooden cottages and wooden decorative items and other things are rising, forests are being indiscriminately cut down, trees are being indiscriminately felled to fulfill this demand, and this in turn has given rise to the problem of deforestation. I hope you understood these particular science cartoons. Now dear children, as far as your homework goes, I have mentioned 6 ecological problems here: excessive hunting, forest fire, forest conservation, over medication, this one is a human problem, global warming and deforestation. Your work is to write their definitions in your GK notebook. You note down these words and you will write their definition. For reference, you can refer to this video, and also you can refer to your dictionary or any other source, but you will have to write their definitions. I hope you understand the homework. Thank you very much. Stay safe.